Hello, in this video we will learn about the cloning mechanism in the animal. So we will not understand about the human, but the same mechanism, but we will understand about due to the Dolly sheep formation due to the cloning. So it is asexual reproduction to generate copies of the individual which that is same which that we have required. So in this way, the female reproductive system first we will learn. And what is the female reproductive system of goat, like sheep? So in this way, here is the uterine body, and this is the reproductive system of female, and uterine horn, and this is the uterine tube and ovary membrane, and this is the vagina and vestibule, and this is the urethral opening which that is used for the urination and bladder. So anyhow, this is the general structure of the female reproductive system of sheep. So let's begin to understand the estrous cycle, what will be happen and how we can receive the egg for the cloning mechanism. So in this way, the seasonal changes lead to ovulation of egg is known as estrous cycle. Normally, it is depend on the food, season, the temperature, and other factors. Puberty. So this is the brain of the sheep, and this is basically the cerebellum, the brainstem, cerebrum, cerebral cortex, thalamus, and hypothalamus. And below the hypothalamus is the pituitary gland. Pituitary gland is the endocrine gland, which that is made up of three lobes, but in this way we will discuss about the two lobes, the adenohypophysis and neurohypophysis. Neurohypophysis is the posterior, while the adenohypophysis is the major anterior. This is the hypothalamus, which that contain nerves, neuron, which that will stimulate the pituitary gland to trigger the production of hormone into the blood circulatory system is known as the neuroendocrine system. So this is the neurohypophysis and adenohypophysis, and this is the seasonal stimulation to the hypothalamus from the thalamus and the brain higher cortex, which that will trigger the adenohypophyseal cell to release the follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone. It is depend on the season, not the periodically activation, like a human or apes primate. So this is the follicle. The primary follicle will develop and bind with the follicle stimulating hormone to select one follicle or two follicle depend on the species wise. So in this way, the selection will lead to secondary follicle maturation and will lead to maturation, and ultimately the secondary follicle will bind with the luteinizing hormone after the triggering of the luteinizing hormone. In this way, the luteinizing hormone is responsible for the ovulation. Ovulation means the egg will release from the follicular fluid is left behind and the glandular tissue formation, and the egg will be released into the fallopian tube, but in this way the uterine tube. So this is the corpus albicans will be formed if the fertilization will not occur. So the next season will require to again stimulation through follicle stimulating hormone. So remember that. Let's begin to understand through graph. And basically this is the hypothalamus and pituitary gland, and the gonadotropin releasing hormone will stimulate the adenohypophysis to release the follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone. This is the graph within the 21st 21 days. So in this way, the ups and down the harmonically is showing in the diagram the follicle stimulating hormone in the red line, while the green line shows the luteinizing hormone for the ovulation of the egg. So remember, this is the follicle stimulating hormone while trigger and increase will lead to follicle stimulation, and the primary follicle will develop. And after the development of the primary follicle, the ovulation will occur when the luteinizing hormone will on the peak level. So when the luteinizing hormone will increase, will lead to trigger the ovulation, will lead to corpus luteum formation to produce estrogen for and progesterone for lactation of milk, as well as the mammary gland development due to the estrogen and estradiol. And this is the primary hormonal therapy, the primary hormonal treatment for the cloning, for the retrieval of the egg, the multiple egg production. So the overstimulation of pituitary to release gonadotropin releasing hormone through synthetically will lead, and the luteinizing hormone, basically the gonadotropin releasing hormone, sorry, which that will lead to trigger the pituitary gland to produce more follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone. While the secondary hormone therapy is the more egg production due to the follicle stimulating hormone to continue the follicles more maturation, and the luteinizing hormone will trigger after provide the luteinizing hormone LH after the follicle stimulating hormone by the maturation, and in this way the ovulation require the luteinizing hormone. So we are providing the luteinizing hormone to release more egg without any changes of season. So this is we are using the hormone therapy for cloning mechanism for retrieval of egg. So the retrieval of egg through a needle. So I am not understanding to you for about that things, but you can just imagine that and understand. So in this way we have taken the egg. So in this way, here is the sheep, the doll. For example, it is the dolly sheep, and in this way, we can get a donor cell is taken from a sheep's organ. So in this way, this is contain nucleus, and the nucleus contain DNA. That is the genetic material, which that is the overall expression and the phenotype show from the genotype. So this is the donor DNA is the containing nucleus. So we should remove the nucleus while the cytoplasm no need of the cytoplasm. So we have no need of the cytoplasm. This is the nucleus removal process, which that is time taking. And in this way, the follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone therapy, which that will trigger to the female, and in this way an egg cell is taken from an adult female sheep, and in this way when we will retrieval or separate the egg after the finding of the egg, the nucleus contain haploid. This is the haploid, because it is require the fertilization to diploid. So but we will remove, and this cytoplasm of the egg is requirement, because the cytoplasm is important for the development and growth. So the nucleus of the egg is removed, and these two cells are fused using an electric shock. The electroporation formation will lead to insertion of the nucleus into the cytoplasm of the egg. And after this providing the nucleus, it will become again the zygote like formation, and this is a complete nucleus which that is from the donor, and in this way it will be a divide, and the fused cell begin dividing normally to form a blastocyst formation, and this is the embryo, and this is the basically in vitro fertilization, and this like that, but it is not in vitro, it is in vitro development to form blastocyst will implant. The embryo is placed in the uterus of foster mother or surrogate mother, which that developed the dolly sheep, and the dolly sheep is same like the donor. So that is why the complete copy of the organism of the individual. So the side effect of the cloning is harmful effect of the exposure in the environment due to the old genes and no recombination, while the benefit is that required gene expression. For example, we are getting the high yield production of milk or other the meat or something which that is our requirement and demand, which that can give more productive animal via a cloning. So this is the cloning mechanism we have discussed in this video. I hope you make sense about the cloning mechanism and how to get the egg for the insertion of nucleus into the egg, and how to work that. I hope you make sense about this, and I hope you like this video. If you like this video, please make sure to subscribe, like and share, and give the comment below to understanding better. So thanks for watching. Bye.